Injustice often hides behind silence. But what happens when the system meant to protect us betrays us instead? This is what happened to a 23-year-old hard-working daughter of a poor family in Tanjore who was abducted, beaten up, and raped by a group of 6 men while she was returning home from the bank. One of the rapists was a ruling DMK functionary and a Udayanidhi Stalin fan club member. Some reports say he later joined the AIADMK and then the BJP. Be that as it may, this is a story which is not easy to tell, but it needs to be told nonetheless because the institutions that should have protected her and sympathized with her failed her, and she deserves justice. In this episode of Cut to the Chase with the Commune, we share the story of a young woman who went through a nightmare for no fault of hers. This is our attempt to tell a story that no one else is outraging about. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and engage with the Commune Mag on X, Facebook, Instagram, ShareChat, and Flipboard. You can also read our news and views on our website www.thecommunemag.com. We have mentioned all these links in the description below. In Papanad village, just 25 kilometers from Tanjore, a heinous crime took place on August 12, 2024 when a 23-year-old woman was brutally gang raped by 6 men. This girl, from a humble family, had successfully completed her master's degree in microbiology and was working for a private firm in Chennai. She was visiting her parents in the village when she was attacked. It was supposed to be an ordinary day. She had finished some paperwork in her college and the bank and was returning home. She was suddenly confronted by someone she knew, Kavidas. He demanded she get on his bike, but when she refused and walked away, he and 5 others appeared from behind her and dragged her to an isolated spot. 6 men assaulted her, beating her into silence, overpowering her screams. The poor girl couldn't stand the blows and fell unconscious soon. Her father, sleeping just meters away, had no idea what was happening to his daughter. Despite the horror she endured, she showed incredible bravery when she woke up. She went to the Papanad police station with her family, determined to get justice. But that's when the system betrayed her. Instead of registering her case, the woman officer in charge demanded a written complaint, something the law does not require. They didn't even offer medical assistance or show any concern for her well-being. Confused and desperate, the family traveled to another police station at Pattukotai, 14 kilometers away. There too, they were turned away. They were advised to go to the hospital and referred back to another police station. No one took interest in her ordeal. At the hospital, she was again neglected. Neither the doctor nor the nurses attended to her. Despite her exhaustion, the hospital staff refused to treat her, insisting she first return with a registered police complaint. She arrived at the Orathanad police station, an all-woman police station located 28 kilometers away from the government hospital in Pattukotai. From there, she was taken to the RMH hospital in Tanjore for a medical examination. 7 hours passed before she was finally taken to the hospital for medical care. The FIR was registered only in the next morning, 15 hours after the attack. The girl didn't even have the opportunity to cry and express her pain while she was running from pillar to post. According to Indian law, the police cannot refuse to register a crime. Section 173 of the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita makes it clear a complaint can be given orally, electronically, or in writing. A 15-hour delay in filing the FIR is not just a procedural error, it weakens the entire case. The trauma didn't end there. Her nightmare continued when she was confronted by 2 of her rapists in the court. One even had the audacity to ask her not to name him in her statement. Despite her clear testimony, the police registered the case only against 4 men, leaving out 2 of the attackers. Yet, CCTV footage clearly shows 6 men leaving the scene together. The survivor, an educated woman with a master's degree in microbiology, now lives in complete isolation. The leftist, Dravidianist media have maintained stoic silence on the matter. The so called champions of women and outlet that claim to quote unquote speak truth to power are nowhere to be seen. Those who were outraging over the Pollachi issue when the AIADMK was in power haven't even reported about this issue. Is it because one of the accused was once a member of DMK Scion Udayanidhi Stalin's fan club? Is it because raising outrage over the issue would upset the powers that be? The Outlook magazine, which had covered this case in detail, visited the village and spoke to the survivor. The survivor had only one question: will this case be over in a month or two? When will I go back to my normal life? Her question echoes for thousands of victims like her. The law exists to protect the vulnerable, but when those sworn to uphold justice fail them, then what does justice even mean for the powerless? This is the story of a survivor who, despite her courage, was failed at every turn by the police, the hospital, and the legal system. But her fight isn't over. She still hasn't returned to work. Her life has been turned upside down, and justice remains elusive. Her question, when will this case be over, is one we must all ask with her. She could be any one of us. Let's make sure no other survivor is silenced. Share her story. Demand justice.